Good afternoon. Today is the 16th of June and it's time for another one of the Very Vague vlogs. I apologise in advance, we've got the mountain shot, that's just the way that these things go. Also, if the autofocus plays up again, which I believe last week was to do with there being an insect on the windscreen, again, I apologise. That's just the way it goes. There's not a lot I can do about it. I have mounted the camera in the car today in a slightly different way, and so it should be okay. Today we're going to be talking about a video that I'm going to be recording later in the week, which will probably be answering some of your questions. So if you'd like to ask some questions, I know a lot of you do enjoy asking questions and to have some answers, then please type your questions in the comments section below and I will be answering those questions and recording the video, I imagine, on Thursday afternoon, which will be Thursday the 18th of June. So please send your questions in within the next 48 hours or so. Please don't worry if someone else has asked a question before. I will answer it again. But yes, I'll be interested to hear what questions we have this time. I know that there are quite a few new subscribers who've come into the channel recently, and that's very good. Some of the regular viewers as well often ask me very pertinent and sometimes quite tricky questions, and I don't really mind that either. So we're on the way from my mother's house. I don't ever show exactly where my mother's house is. I just drive reasonably close to it and then switch the camera off or turn the camera on depending on where we're going. We're going back from my mother's house. Just been delivering her her shopping because she is in self-isolation still. The main focus though today will be something I don't talk about an awful lot really on this channel, because I don't think actually it's really something that you really need to focus upon in life, just in general, cars or not. But I think just today it's kind of worth saying, and that is there are days and weeks sometimes when things get a bit frustrating, and cars are no exception. And just to tell you, some of the things we've had happen just in the last few days. One of them is something that's just happened now. I was hoping to record for you today a special video which would have been about the loan car that I was going to be driving with my mother's car going in for an MOT and service today. And unfortunately what's happened is my mother, who is she's self-isolated because of her age, she can't find her keys. She can't find the main key for the car or the spare key. She hasn't driven the car since I did the filming with it with Mr. Richardson, which would have been a couple of weeks ago now. She can't find the keys. I did give the keys back to her after the filming, and she just can't find them and can't find the spare. So obviously Mercedes 2017 car, keyless entry. If we can't find the keys, then obviously we can't go anywhere in the car, and I couldn't take it in for a service, and so no loan car action, no walk-arounds, nothing. Also the car needs an MOT and service and we can't get into it at the moment. One thing I was reminded of today was that Mercedes-Benz cars do come with 3 years of complimentary breakdown cover, and that actually ends towards the end of the month on my mother's car, because that will be when the warranty expires on it. She got it 28th of June 2017, and so I have rebooked the car in for next Friday. I'm hoping then that we'll be able to do other things, but at the moment, if she can't find the keys by next Friday, and I have helped her today look for them, then we're going to have to pay £700 for some new keys, and we're going to have the car recovered to the Mercedes-Benz dealership. Very, very frustrating and unnecessary cost, and you know, this would be the same for virtually any type of new car. This is why I'm so careful about the keyless entry keys that I have for the VII, because I know how much they cost to replace and how annoying they are. To be honest, any car really which has keys, if you don't have the keys and you can't get in, so it's just really the cost of things rather than anything else. You'd have to, you know, if you had the old Rover 216 I used to have, which had central locking, but you know, just normal keys, you still have to get probably new barrels and things on the lot, because if you lost all the keys for it, then that's what you'd have to do. So that would still be an expense. It's just you know, we have to pay obviously more money to have the actual keys done on this. The other thing is that the Seat had an MOT yesterday, and everything was going fine until they found a nail in the near side rear tyre, and I've booked it in to have that tyre replaced, but I've just realised that I don't need to have the tyre replaced. I can just have that tyre repaired, because the nail's in a place where it is repairable. I checked with Mr. Coleman, of course, who knows about these things, and he says I can have it just fixed. So it's just a bit annoying, because believe it or not, the tyres on this car are the original tyres. They've done 28,500 miles from new, and even the front tyres, we have had the front and backs changed over. The front tyres at the moment are still on 5 to 6 millimeters, which is incredible. I'm not used to tyres lasting as long as this. It's quite amazing, really. So yes, it's just one of these things with cars, you know, that just happens, and you know, the cost of the replacement tyre is not that much actually. They are an unusual size on this car. Don't really know why. They're very, very low profile. It's probably what the sidewalls are tiny on this Seat. The ride's not that uncomfortable. I mean, you'll see a bit of vibration coming from the camera. You've probably already seen that, but the phone is doing its best to mitigate that, and not show too much of it, but it's just a bit of a pain really. And also knowing that I've already ordered that tyre, I'm hoping I can ask them just to repair it and pay less money than having a new one, which would upset the originality of the car. The others are the same. Just makes it look better, really. The other thing, of course, as some of you would have known, is that the Rover 45 V6 that Mr. Coleman and I have been conspiring to pick up, and he you know, agreed to work on it for me. That is still with Mr. Coleman, because the main parts supplier that's used in the Midlands, a firm called Midland Vehicle Components, they've only just opened today, after, you know, months of not being open, and so he wasn't able to order the components from them to do the service and other bits and pieces that he was planning on doing. So we had to get the parts from Euro Car Parts, and this was, you know, last week, and he ordered them online. You can't actually at the moment go to Euro Car Parts, or perhaps from yesterday possibly you could, but I wanted to pick the car up last weekend, and the parts never arrived. They didn't arrive until yesterday, and you know, the oil filter was wrong as well. So again, we had to leave the car with him whilst he just waited for the bits. He has, because Midland Vehicle Quotes are now open, he's changed the oil filter for a different one, and he'll be working on that this week. He's already done the rear brakes on the car, which the pads were in need of changing because the last person who did them didn't set them up very well, which is a bit of a pain, but never mind. We've done the spark plugs on it, which is good. They are a bit of a pain on a KV6 engine. He will also be doing some videos on the oil and filter change on the car. The air filter is apparently incredibly easy. But again, we probably have to change our plans this week. We were going to go in the Rover to see some of our friends yesterday. But of course, because the Seat was in for a service and MOT, we had no car, so we couldn't do that. And we had to sort of move things around, as has he, because he was planning to do all the work on the car Friday and Saturday last week, and that's not happened because the parts didn't arrive. So it's all a bit, this is one of these kind of things. I'm sure it'll be okay. He's still enjoying driving it. I also would be like to drive that car at the moment, but that's just the way that it has gone. My mother's car, I just hope she finds those keys, because having to go to the garage on a recovery truck is not, it's exciting, but it kind of means something's normally wrong, and then having to have the keys done, I think about probably 350 quid a go, and we will need two. It's not really a sort of thing you want to spend money on if you can avoid it. But I think my mother's okay with that. That's fine. I'm sure we'll get that done before the warranty and everything expires, and needs the actual MOT. Don't think I'll find anything really on that car. It's done about half the mileage this one has in this same amount of time, so I don't think we're going to find anything. But yes, I'm believing for better news next week. We do still plan to pick the Rover up that weekend. My lady wife and I have moved things around, and we're going to be visiting our friends in a couple of days, and that'll be fine. So yes, should have good news. The Rover should be back by probably Saturday. I've got another No Budget Reviews episode that I'm going to film actually soon. Be continuing with the James Bond series. I know a lot of you don't really like that. The viewing figures have really dropped off on it, but I just want to keep going a little bit. Also, it gives me a chance to fill out some of the content on the channel when things like this happen, and I'm not able to necessarily do exactly what I would have wanted to do, but never mind. As I said at the beginning of the video, please do leave your questions in the comment section below, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. We won't be doing too much more of this kind of introspection. It's just sort of a bit of a rare thing. And also don't forget to visit my Facebook page, facebook.com/Lloyd Vehicle Consulting, and Instagram too, instagram.com/Lloyd_Vehicle_Consulting. Thank you ever so much indeed for watching, and I hope you don't have any problems like this yourselves this week.